These days, when you hear the name Malibu, California, your mind instantly jumps to flawless images of pristine beaches, sleek supercars racing down the PCH, and opulent seaside estates that scream, if you have to ask the price, you can't afford it. But rewind less than a century, and you'll find a different scene altogether. A rugged coastline dotted with little more than dusty rocks. Indeed, it took the vision and determination of one particular old money New England family to transform this barren stretch of California coast into the glamorous haven we now connect to Hollywood glamour and oceanfront extravagance. In today's episode of Old Money Luxury, we share their captivating story, tracing their journey from the windswept shores of Massachusetts to the sun-kissed coast of Southern California, as we describe, the Ringes, the old money family who built Malibu. Frederick H. Ringe and Rhoda May Knight Ringe, once heralded as the King and Queen of Malibu, weren't just titans of charm. They were veritable alchemists of the California coastline. Before their reign, Malibu was merely a collection of dusty rocks that hardly warranted a second glance. Yet, under their Midas touch, these barren bluffs transformed into a lush, exclusive enclave, echoing the luxe vibes of the Mediterranean Rivieras that had captured Frederick's fancy during his European jaunts. You see, Frederick was no stranger to city-making magic. Before he became Malibu's monarch, he had already stamped his mark on the American landscape by transforming Cambridge, Massachusetts, into a beacon of culture and academia. And this isn't just any town, as many already know. It's the brainy epicenter where the likes of Harvard kiss the sky, thanks in part to Frederick's visionary investments and civic initiatives. With his influence, Cambridge morphed from a quaint New England town into a thriving hub that mingled intellectual prowess with architectural charm. Therefore, after etching his legacy into this cornerstone of American education and innovation, Frederick packed up his considerable fortune and set his sights on the golden coasts of California. And his dream was to mold Malibu into the American Riviera. Investing heavily, he conjured up an atmosphere of exclusivity and opulence, shaping Malibu into a sought-after paradise for the affluent. But let's not forget the indomitable spirit of Rhoda May Knight Ringe, the queen by Frederick's side, who added her own flair to the Malibu saga. She played a pivotal role in establishing the Malibu movie colony, a haven for Hollywood stars seeking respite from the hustle and bustle of Tinseltown. Indeed, May's vision transformed Malibu into more than just a glamorous retreat. It became a playground for the rich and famous, where silver screen icons mingled with the coastal elite, leaving behind a legacy of glitz and glamour that still echoes through Malibu's sandy shores. Today, the Ringe touch still palpably thrums through Malibu's veins, etched into its landscape and lore. Take the Adamson House, for example. Often hailed as the Taj Mahal of tile, this architectural gem was originally crafted for Rhoda's daughter. It stands as a dazzling tribute to the family's penchant for ornate, Spanish-inspired design, its walls a canvas of intricate tilework that whispers tales of a bygone era of splendor. Just a stone's throw from this historical masterpiece lies the Malibu Lagoon State Beach. This pristine stretch of sand and surf embodies the tranquil beauty that first lured the Ringes to these shores. It's a perfect snapshot of the idyllic haven they envisioned and brought to fruition, where the waves lap gently at memories of the past. Not far from the lagoon, nestled within the Malibu Creek State Park, stands the Ringe Dam. This robust barrier was another brainchild of Frederick, constructed to master the wild waters and support the agricultural ventures that bloomed under his ambitious gaze. The dam isn't just a feat of engineering. It's a landmark of the legacy Frederick left behind, a symbol of his dedication to nurturing and sculpting the natural beauty of Malibu. The Ringes' vast estates have also given rise to landmarks of learning and culture like Pepperdine University. Situated on what was once part of their expansive land holdings, the university, though not directly named after them, owes its scenic campus to the land preserved and eventually sold by the Ringe family. And yet, how did a couple of Massachusetts Yankees have the foresight and flexibility to leave the stuffy halls of old money New England and build one of the most well-known sun-soaked party palisades in California? In order to learn the answer, let's flip over to the next chapter and begin our journey. The story of the Ringe family's creation of Malibu, California, begins with a daring transcontinental adventure and ends on the glittering shores of Malibu, a sanctuary for Hollywood's elite. Yet, ironically, this glamorous destination on Southern California's Golden Coast has its roots in the ivy-covered bookish world of Greater Boston, Massachusetts, where the future family patriarch, Frederick H. Ringe, got his start with helping to first create none other than the academic haven of Cambridge, home of Harvard University. Born on the 21st of December 1857, the future founder of Malibu began his life in privilege in the grandiose Ringe Mansion, situated at the lively intersection of Dana and Harvard Streets in 19th century Greater Boston. However, despite such a prestigious beginning, Ringe's early life was marred by significant sorrow. You see, tragedy first struck with the early deaths of his siblings, Henry and Mary, who were taken by scarlet fever, casting a long shadow over his formative years. Furthermore, as a child, Ringe himself frequently battled severe rheumatic fever, which confined him to bed and often deprived him of the typical pleasures of youth. Yet, in 1875, Ringe matriculated at Harvard College, and his determination did not wane. He engaged actively in the art club, glee club, and hasty pudding club. However, his university journey was abruptly halted by recurring health issues, leading to his departure from Harvard following a grand tour of Europe, a cultural rite of passage at the time for the affluent American and European youth of the West, designed to enrich their education and polish their social graces through exposure to the arts, architecture, and aristocracy of the Old World. Yet his up-and-down life of wealth and weak health took a significant turn in 1883 when Ringe, then only 28, inherited a vast estate from his father Samuel. This inheritance was not just a transfer of vast sums of capital, but a baton of opportunity, thanks to Samuel's astute investments in textile mills and real estate. Thus, with nearly $2 million at his command, worth about $140 million in today's dollars, Ringe was equipped not just to manage an estate, but to redefine his future. And 4 years later, Ringe's commitment to his hometown manifested profoundly. Cambridge mayor and Harvard acquaintance William Russell approached him with a humble request for funding to establish a new public library. Ringe responded not just with funding, but with a plot of land to boot, and by the end of 1887, his contributions had expanded to include a new City Hall, now known as Cambridge City Hall, and the Ringe Technical School. This institution would eventually merge with Cambridge High and Latin School to form the Cambridge Ringe and Latin School in 1977, an establishment still pivotal to the educational fabric of Cambridge and beyond, ironically launching the careers of numerous Hollywood actors, including Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Indeed, those two particular film icons wrote and filmed the iconic movie Good Will Hunting during their years in and around the schools that Frederick H. Ringe helped found, adding even more modern Hollywood magic to the history of the Ringe family. Ringe's influence, however, stretched beyond the academic and into the more personal aspects of the community's life, including streets that still bear his name, such as Ringe Avenue and Ringefield Street. Yet, it would be his marriage to Rhoda May Knight that would lead Frederick H. Ringe from a life filled with academic philanthropy to the creation of one of Hollywood's most iconic locales on the sunny shores of California. The marriage of Frederick Ringe and Rhoda May Knight in the late 19th century marked not just the merging of two hearts, but also the forging of a future that would shape the very contours of California, including the creation of the legendary Malibu. Born in 1864, Rhoda grew up on a bustling sheep farm outside Trenton, Michigan, with her 12 siblings and her early years as a mathematics teacher and her devout Methodist upbringing prepared her little for the adventurous life that lay ahead. But the turn in Rhoda's life began rather enchantingly when Frederick, while convalescing at a health colony run by Rhoda's aunt in Northern California, spotted her photograph. Captivated, he sought the aunt's blessing to court Rhoda. Soon, letters flew between Frederick and Rhoda, quickly blossoming into romance, and within a dizzyingly short span, the couple were engaged and then married, all in under a fortnight. In 1887, the newlyweds boarded a first-class Pullman Palace rail car bound for California, settling initially at a ranch owned by Rhoda's aunt before moving to Santa Monica, marking the start of their storied saga in the Golden State. Then, the couple's vision of idyllic coastal living blossomed in the 1890s with the construction of a Victorian ranch home nestled in Malibu Canyon. Tragically, their Malibu retreat was consumed by a brush fire in 1903, yet the Ringe's resilience saw them rebuild and fortify their presence in the region. It was here, amid the scenic expanses of Malibu, that Frederick actualized his lifelong dream, a farm by the sea, culminating in his purchase of the Malibu Rancho, the last of the Spanish land grants. And Frederick Ringe's deep dive into California's economic and civic life was marked by his founding of the conservative life insurance company, now known as Pacific Life, an institution that still stands today, offering insurance and financial services to millions across the state. Moreover, his strategic roles as vice president of Union Oil Company and director of the Los Angeles Edison Electric Company, later Southern California Edison, underscored his influence in shaping the state's energy and industrial sectors. Southern California Edison, in particular, has grown to become a cornerstone of the region's infrastructure, powering homes, businesses, and the very growth of California itself. But Frederick's ventures were not confined to the shores of Malibu. His investments stretched to include land near Stockton, California, vast real estate holdings in the San Fernando Valley, and even parcels in Sinaloa, Mexico, a place that would much later become notorious as the stronghold of El Chapo, adding a touch of ironic contrast to Ringe's own lawful and civic-minded ventures. However, Frederick Ringe's promising endeavors were cut short when he died suddenly at 48 in 1905. The mantle of responsibility then fell to Rhoda, who found herself at the helm of the extensive Ringe estate. In an era when women seldom held such power, Rhoda May Knight Ringe's ascension to the nickname of Queen of Malibu would become not just noteworthy, but revolutionary. Now, the region today known as Malibu lies within the historical territory of the Chumash people, stretching from the San Joaquin Valley to San Luis Obispo, and encompassing several islands off the southern coast of California. Known for their advanced maritime skills, the Chumash navigated the coastal waters with plank canoes known as tommels, which were crucial for trade and communication among their widespread communities. And the Chumash settlement, known as Humalivo, meaning the surf sounds loudly, reflects the vibrant soundscape of its coastal environment. This name, softened over time to Malibu, resonates with the echo of the waves that still define the area. Occupied since approximately 2500 BCE, Humaliwo was not only a vital Chumash center but also the second largest of the coastal villages. Its significance continued to unfold through history, with Spanish conquistador Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo believed to have anchored at Malibu Lagoon in 1542 to collect fresh water. Then, the Spanish influence was solidified with the establishment of the California mission system and the delineation of Rancho Topanga Malibu Sequit, a sprawling 13,000-acre land grant in 1802. Ownership of this grand expanse passed to Frederick Hastings Ringe in 1891, and after Frederick's death, his widow, May Ringe, took extraordinary measures to protect their estate. She then hired guards to keep trespassers at bay and waged a prolonged legal fight to obstruct the construction of a Southern Pacific Railroad line across their land. And prior to 1929, access to this secluded paradise was limited, with few roads penetrating the area but the state's victory in a subsequent court case led to the construction of what is now known as the Pacific Coast Highway. This development forced May Ringe to parcel out her holdings, marking the beginning of more extensive public access and development in Malibu. And in an attempt to alleviate her financial woes, Ringe ventured into oil drilling on her property at Point Dume. The endeavor proved fruitless, yet it serendipitously led to the discovery of clay deposits, materials told to be perfect for tile making. You see, during this era, Los Angeles was experiencing a real estate boom, with a surge in the construction of homes styled in the Mission Revival, Mayan Revival, Spanish Colonial Revival, and Moorish Revival architectures, all of which heavily utilized decorative tiles. Seizing this opportunity, Ringe established Malibu Potteries, located a mere half-mile east of her Malibu pier. She enlisted the expertise of Rufus B. Keeler, a renowned tile and glaze specialist, to manage the operations. And at its zenith, Malibu Potteries employed 125 workers and churned out 30,000 square feet of tile each month. The production involved intricate techniques such as cuerda seca and cuenca, and the designs were inspired by diverse books from a well-furnished library at the pottery. Women artisans hand-painted each tile using hazardous substances like cadmium and uranium for vibrant oranges and reds, cobalt for deep blues, and lead for bright yellows. Yet, despite the success of her pottery business, Ringe's financial struggles persisted. In an effort to generate income, she initiated the development of the Malibu movie colony around 1926. This exclusive enclave was designed to attract Hollywood's elite, offering privacy and luxury close to the burgeoning film industry of Los Angeles, and the colony featured beachfront cottages leased to cinema icons such as Clara Bow, Bing Crosby, Gloria Swanson, and Gary Cooper. Furthermore, these residences were quickly constructed by studio carpenters and featured tiles from Ringe's own Malibu Potteries. Thus, the Malibu movie colony not only provided Ringe with a new source of income, but also established a glamorous social hub that attracted movie stars and moguls, enhancing Malibu's reputation as a luxury retreat. Concurrently, Ringe embarked on an ambitious personal project, the construction of a lavish 3-wing, 55-room mansion atop Laudamus Hill, intended as a grand statement of her status and success. This residence, often referred to as the Ringe Castle, was to be adorned with extensive use of Malibu Potteries tiles, including a massive all-tile faux Persian carpet. Plans for the mansion also included luxurious hand-carved mahogany details. However, the onset of the Great Depression in 1929, coupled with a devastating kiln fire in 1931 that destroyed much of Malibu Potteries, severely impacted Ringe's financial situation, and the financial strain forced Ringe to halt construction of her grand mansion. By 1932, Malibu Potteries had closed, and Ringe faced increasing pressure to liquidate her assets. This period marked a significant downturn in her fortunes, leading to the eventual sale of the Malibu movie colony properties. The colony itself, however, continued to thrive and evolve, becoming a permanent fixture in Malibu and a symbol of its ties to Hollywood glamour. Yet, despite her ups and downs, soon the legacy of May Ringe, along with Malibu itself, would be cemented for all eternity. In parallel to the development of the Malibu movie colony, the Malibu Pier was another significant project initiated by the Ringe family. Originally built in 1905 by the aforementioned Frederick Hastings Ringe, May's husband, the pier was constructed to facilitate the transportation of goods for their ranch, which spanned the Malibu coastline. Over the years, the pier's significance extended beyond its practical uses, becoming an integral part of Malibu's cultural fabric. In the 1920s and 1930s, it emerged as a popular destination for tourists drawn to Malibu's sandy beaches and the Pacific Ocean's allure, and the later addition of restaurants, shops, and other amenities during this period further cemented the pier's status as a recreational and social gathering place. Additionally, its role in the community continued to evolve through the decades, serving as a hotspot for surfers in the 60s and fishing enthusiasts in the 70s and 80s. Yet, by 1938, May Ringe found herself financially insolvent, a stark reversal of fortune for a woman who once controlled one of the most extensive private landholdings in California. And her financial demise was exacerbated by strained family relationships, particularly with a son who blamed her for the rapid depletion of the family's wealth due to her relentless court battles and opulent spending habits. May Ringe passed away in 1941, leaving behind a complex legacy, but May's contributions to preserving Malibu's natural environment have had a lasting impact. Today, vast portions of the land she fought so fiercely to protect are integral to the Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area, including the land on which Pepperdine University sits, 138 acres originally part of the Ringe Ranch donated by her daughter's family. Surfrider Beach, another gem in Malibu's crown where her historic pier stands, continues to be a celebrated surf spot, protected by the Surfrider Foundation and designated as the world's first ever World Surfing Reserve by the Save the Waves Coalition. It also holds a place on the National Register of Historic Places, and its cultural significance was cemented in 1933 when May granted permission for its use in the filming of the iconic movie King Kong, starring Fay Wray. Thus, May Ringe also played a pivotal role in defining Malibu as a retreat for the affluent and influential figures of the entertainment industry, setting the stage for the city to become a sanctuary for celebrities. Furthermore, the legacy of May's entrepreneurial spirit lives on through the enduring presence of Malibu pottery's tiles, gracing notable structures like Los Angeles City Hall, the Mayan Theater, the Roosevelt Hotel, the Geffen Playhouse, as well as other public buildings throughout the United States and abroad. And now, we'd love to see you in the comments. Are you a native of Malibu or the Los Angeles area? And what is your opinion on the city's history? We're very proud of our engaged community, and we can't wait to hear your thoughts and stories. We look forward to hearing from you, and thanks again for joining us for another episode of Old Money Luxury. Cheers, until next time.